London in the 1720s. Gin had become responsible for 20% of deaths. Stealing a handkerchief earned you the death penalty, and prisoners were tortured by jailers. This was Hogarth's Ginland. By the 1740s, however, philanthropy gains ground. Charities and Sunday schools are established, and George Friedrich Handel is on his way to Dublin at the invitation of the Duke of Devonshire, Lord Lieutenant of Ireland. At that time, Dublin had become a city of elegant Georgian townhouses, inhabited by an affluent Anglo-Irish ruling class. Here the arts flourished, and the first performance of Handel's Messiah was given at the Music Hall in Fishamble Street, for the relief of prisoners in several jails and for the support of Mercer's Hospital in Stephen Street. The premiere of the world's most famous oratorio, written in 24 days, took place on the 30th of April 1742. The theatre was so packed that the ladies were requested to come without hoops, which supported the dresses of the period, and the gentlemen without swords, to enable an extra 100 people to find seats. Handel did something extraordinary for this performance. He cast an actress, Susanna Kibber, to sing He Was Despised at a time when actors were not buried in consecrated ground. After she sang, a priest shouted, "For this woman all thy sins be absolved." Handel was a kind man, but he had a violent temper. On one occasion, when Corelli, the finest violinist of the day, was leading Handel's orchestra, he snatched Corelli's violin from him and shouted, "No, not like this, like so." The mild-mannered Corelli replied, "But maestro, the music is in the French style, which I do not understand." On another occasion, when his soprano was not singing to his liking, he held her out of an upstairs window by her feet. Singers, take note. For me, one of the most remarkable things Handel did was to join forces with Hogarth and Thomas Coram, a ship's captain, to establish the Foundling Hospital. This was at a time when part of a prisoner's punishment was that his wife and children would be thrown out onto the street. The hospital existed so that these mothers could take their children, leave them on the steps, and they would be taken care of until they could return. There is much speculation as to why audiences stand for the Hallelujah chorus in the Messiah. The most popular theory is that the king fell asleep and woke at the rousing opening of Hallelujah and stood up, causing the entire audience to rise. However, a written account of this occasion tells us that it was in fact the audience and the king that rose as one on hearing the verse, "For the Lord God omnipotent reigneth." Handel wrote many oratorios of equal worth, but it is without doubt that the Messiah has become, and has been for many centuries, one of the most important spiritual works. In the words of Beethoven, Handel is the greatest composer that ever lived. I will never tire of performing the Messiah, and I hope you can join me on December the 2nd, 3rd, or for a special matinee on the 4th. You might find I have a few surprises for you as well.